What's up, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. It's your boy Cam. We are, as always, in this bitch. Good to see you. I think I'm doing away with that intro. I did it forever. Last couple times I didn't do it. It felt better. I think I'm done with that intro. Guys, good to see you. I know I'm kind of on a different schedule here. I usually do it every Sunday. I was doing it Sunday and Wednesday for a while. Now I'm just doing Sundays because it just feels better. I've got a lot on my plate right now, which is good. Good things, all good things. Life is super exciting right now. But yeah, one time a week I think is all you guys need to hear anymore from me, especially if you follow me on my Instagram, if you're on my YouTube channel. One podcast a week is enough. I'm putting out plenty of content. So I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time yipping and yapping and talking about me. Let's get to talking about the things that you guys care about. Let me go right to the fan questions. I got a few. First thing was, wanted questions relating to PTSD/TBIs related to sleep, hygiene, and meds. So, great conversation. First up, PTSD, and well, let's just break it down. So let's put it exactly in the order they did. PTSD related to sleep. So how can PTSD affect your sleep? PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is something that I have, and I tell people about that. It's no problem. So everybody, I want to start with the disclaimer. Everybody's PTSD is probably very different. I can only speak for me, but I have fellow friends and brothers and sisters in arms who have PTSD as well, and I've talked to them, and some of these are very similar. So I'm going to give you my tips on how to deal with it and the things that just how it affects things. So first thing, sleep. So my post-traumatic stress disorder, one part of mine is I just don't sleep well. My mind runs a lot. It's from being in a sense of hypervigilance for long extended periods of time. So if you have to work, a lot of police officers, a lot of corrections officers, stuff like that, if they're in a jail or a prison type setting for a long time, that's 12 hours of being on guard, being ready for anything, that gets to you. So sometimes when you live a very hypervigilant lifestyle, as the doctors describe it to me, is at some point you can no longer turn that off. So you walk around with a sense of hypervigilance, okay? That's fine, no problem. It's not easy when you're trying to go to sleep. So something to be conscious of, something to be aware of. I do have nightmares sometimes, so that doesn't help with my sleep. Now, it's not like I'm jumping out of bed hearing gunshots or anything. I was never in combat, a combat theater. So for me, it was, my nightmares more include like what if scenarios. So like I worked at Guantanamo Bay. So for me, some of my nightmares are like what could have happened, what the potentials of some situations were, what could have happened to us had X, Y, and Z played out differently than it did. That kind of stuff worries you. I don't really concern myself with it much now because it's almost 3 years later, and I don't walk around really thinking about my time in Guantanamo Bay. I have my struggles, but so as far as sleep, that's what it looks like. The second part of the question was for TBIs. So I'm sure I have traumatic brain injury from some dumb things I've done in my life. The military, I took a couple cracks trying to get up in a gunner's hatch. Who hasn't? I was never around any explosives, I was in the artillery. My first MOS, I was a field artillery meteorologist and field surveyor. I was a 13 Tango, so I was around artillery, but I don't think I suffered any TBIs from being around the artillery that I was. So I don't have any issues with traumatic brain injuries, but that's an injury. It's a real injury. So your brain is injured. You need to, if possible, fix it. If not possible, you now have a different set of rules that you're living by. You have a different set of parameters that is possible for your mind and your life. And unfortunately, that comes with PTSD too. I don't get to choose to be stinky and smelly, and I don't think I started my camera back. Sure did. Do I think you're doing that? No, most people. Now, we've all known a couple weird kids in high school, but most of us would choose to not smell or to not have bad breath. I'm weird about how I smell, and I'm weird about hygiene. It's important. I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. It's important. Medicines for post-traumatic stress disorder. For me, for TBI, I don't know. I don't know what the recovery process is. If you're going through an actual TBI injury, I'm not sure. I can consult. I have plenty of friends I could get in the studio that could probably tell of their experiences of themselves or their friends. Maybe we'll try to do that. Get a better answer for you guys. Medicines for post-traumatic stress disorder. For me, cannabis is a big one. CBD, you guys know I love it. Other than that, I don't really use medication. I'm on testosterone, testosterone optimization therapy. I think testosterone and getting my levels, my hormone levels, to a normal place and not being deficient in one way or the other really helps with my anxiety and my depression. Now, at first, when I started therapy, I thought that it cured it. I thought, oh wow, I feel great, this, that, and the other. Man, it's gone now, it's no problem. Well, as anything else, when you even out and everything, you know, settles, and, you know, I'm not like bodybuilding testosterone. I had a testosterone deficiency for my age, and I was tired all the time, and I constantly felt like shit, but like, you guys see me, I'm not jacked, I'm not a bodybuilder by any means. I just work out and I train MMA, and I'm just able to do what I should have been able to do my entire life because of military service and shitty sleep and shitty diets and terrible schedules and stress and everything else. Apparently it killed my test numbers. Not killed them, but they were lower than normal for my age. And I was having symptoms because of it. So, because of that, I guess you would count, I count testosterone as a medication I take that helps with my PTSD because I believe that it does. It also helps with my energy levels. It helps with my my drive. It makes me want to be ambitious. It makes me want to be determined, motivated. All these things, you know, it's no problem. So for me, I have to count that. Now that I thought about it, I have to count it. So it helps. It helps with that. CBD definitely. With obviously, I've told people for as long as I've been talking about CBD, a couple years now, that it's just one of those things, man, where, you know, nothing really has to be wrong, but I use it as preparation. If I know that I'm about to go do something could possibly, I hate to use the word trigger, but that could cause me to feel some sort of way about something. For me, traffic's a big one. Being stuck in traffic or being stuck in a position where there's two people on side of me, and I'm afraid I can't get out to one side or the other if something was to happen. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of people blocking me in places. I just don't like shit like that in the vehicle. So because of that, I use CBD before I drive. I use CBD before I encounter the public. In case, you know, some shit pops off, I don't hyperreact, you know. That's really, you know, that's really it. And then exercise. I count exercise as medication because it is. To those that know, they know. And then, obviously, you guys know, Heineken 00. I don't drink anymore, alcohol free, but yeah, these are nice. It's nice to sit down and relax and get something that I miss. Yeah, I've been sober 3 years from alcohol. Miss having a beer sometimes, and the Heineken 00 made it possible, so I appreciate them for that. Other than that, man, yeah, I got a pretty good episode for you. What do we got? What are we at now? The fuck are we at now? Let me take a break, since I guess we're at a break. Let's talk about Manscaped, guys, in the link below. Manscaped, you guys can go down, click the link there, get 20% off. You get a free travel bag, which is cool. You get the Lawnmower 2.0. Seriously, the best razor I've ever had in my life. It's got the thing on the back. It's called Manscaped, right? Because obviously it's for men, but women can use it too. But, guys, it's got a special guard on it, so that way when you're trimming your nether regions, if you can see the white one, it makes sure that it doesn't grab your skin or nick your skin when you're shaving. I use it on my beard too. Obviously, you wash it if you're going from nether regions to face. Usually it's smarter to go face nether regions if you're a guy, and then clean it after. But yeah, seriously, the best trimmer I've ever had. Then they give you this thing. Now this is for my guys. They give you this thing called ball powder, right? They like to use the term balls as much as they possibly can, which I respect. It's funny. They have this thing called ball powder, men. So if you're out there working out, getting all sweaty, you can then put the ball powder on your nuts, and it evens out your pH down there, so you're not smelling like some funky cheddar when you come home to your old lady. What do you think? Manscaped, 20% off. Ball powder, Mower 2.0, on the low. I got mine for $32 for all those things, shipped, free bag, everything. $32, guys. Go over to Manscaped, get that. And yeah, you can thank me afterwards. So now that we had that out of the way, we got a good rest of the show for you. What do we? I keep forgetting where my clock is. I've gone like the last 3 episodes, 17 minutes. We're good. Let's jump right to it. Phasing things in and out of your life. Perfect transition. So we talked about the Heineken's, alcohol, phasing things in and out of your life. What are we talking about? So I want to talk. Again, I'm not saying all this, and I've been bumping my mic around. I'm sure that sounds great. I've been saying all this not to toot my own horn, but to show you, don't let people talk you out of having many interests. By having many interests, it allows you to drop them off when you lose interest in them or whatever, but it allows you to always have the skill that you learned when you were practicing it. Super important. What is that going to do? So for my family out there that's got mental health challenges, what is this going to do for us? By having a wide variety of options of things that we're interested in, it's going to give you things to do when you feel shit. So, for me, yesterday, it was a very bad day. I picked up my daughter, right? It was a good day with her, a great day, the best day. I had a great day with her. And then all of a sudden, everything was perfect. And then it wasn't. Depression hit, and all of a sudden everything was just terrible, and I felt hopeless, and everything was wrong, and everything was gonna fail, and I didn't know who I was anymore, or why I ever started martial arts, and what kind of fucking phony am I, and I'm a terrible father, and all this. That's how fast it went downhill. Literally, at the change of a second, my mind went, hey dude, it's over, your life sucks. Again, it sucks now. And I was stuck. I couldn't get out. I was out of CBD, so I couldn't have that. And I was fucking stuck. So what did I do? I tried to think, okay, unfortunately, this time I got low enough where the suicidal thoughts started, and it was, hey, you know, what if we just ended it now, and we don't have to deal with these thoughts anymore, and you wouldn't be such a bitch, always thinking something's wrong with you when it's not, you fucking... That negative self-talk, right? And it just dug me to a place where my mind's like, dude, fuck it, why don't you just kill yourself? That old familiar voice, hey man, be easier, you know, your family would be better off, they don't have to deal with your bullshit. And I just went, right? And then I told my wife, I said, you know, I'm just not feeling good mentally right now. I just don't feel good. And I wasn't able to get myself up to go work out or anything. I was comfortable just being upset and being hurt and being depressed. I knew that nothing was actually wrong. I knew I was safe. I knew I was not in any danger. I wasn't going to do anything to myself. I knew that was a ridiculous thought as soon as I had it. But I knew something had to be done. I knew I couldn't just sit and hang out in this pool of depression for very long, because if I did, it was only going to get worse and nothing was going to get better. So I just made the choice to stand up and walk in my office. I feel safe here. I feel comfortable here, so I came in here. When I came in here, I looked around. You guys see all the stuff I've got? I found extra CBD that I had stashed away. I got to use it, smoke. I felt so much better. So again, how does it all tie in? I was able to phase things in as I needed them. I couldn't work out. I didn't feel like hitting mitts or you know, whatever. It was late at night. I'm here. I got my kids. I can't really work out. Everything in my mind is telling me I'm out of CBD, so my medicine that I use during times like this is gone. I don't have any and no access to get any. It was a Saturday night, late at night. I can't just go down to the CBD dispensary. So I said, I'm going to do the only thing I can do, which is go to the space where I feel most comfortable and just be there. By choosing to make that choice, I'm choosing to do something that's going to benefit me, and by doing that, things should get better. But let me just start by taking act to make things better. I came here. What happened? I got curious. I started looking around. What happens? I find something. I find something that helps me. Now look, because I made a fucking choice to do something about it, instead of sit on my couch and bitch, moan, and complain about how shitty I feel and how it's not fair that I have fucking depression and how I shouldn't have suicidal thoughts 3 years later into sobriety and mental health and I'm a motivator, I'm not supposed to feel it. Save it, dude. We're human beings. We're human beings who feel shit, and we feel shit very deeply, and we feel it very strongly, and it makes us want to do irrational things sometimes. Stay in there. Hang with me. Right? Hang with me. Road to redemption. Road to redemption. It's our redemption. This is my redemption. By telling you all these stories, and hopefully I'm giving them to you so you can use them, that's my redemption. It's my redemption for all the shit in my life. I've come to peace with it all, but I love sharing it with you because it literally it helps me feel like I'm giving back for all the terrible, times in my life. I don't know. Now I'm rambling. I'm going to let you guys go. I love you. Go into this week powerfully. Go into it confidently. Go into it believing in yourself. And go into it knowing that whatever faces you, you can beat it. It's just in the choices you make. It's just in the choices you make. It's every single choice. With every single thought. With every single word you say to yourself. With every little tiny second in your day. It affects what's coming to you down the line. Time-space continuum, we've talked about it. If you don't make a valiant effort to make a change, nothing's going to change. And on that note, guys, enjoy the sponsors. Please support the podcast. Go check them out. I canceled the Patreon page. I don't like getting money just from people to donate to the pod. We're not doing it. If you guys want to support the podcast, please go support the sponsors. That's how it happens. I love you guys, and I will see you next Sunday. This episode is also brought to us by NutriFit, guys. NutriFit actually hooked me up with this thing of the vanilla cake milkshake protein, which means they're going to turn me into the vanilla gorilla I was always meant to be. Guys, NutriFit stuff is amazing. Austin, the owner, is a great friend of mine. Very, very great guy, and his formula has been amazing. Look at this. Read this right here on the side. I don't know if the thing's good enough. Grass-fed, hormone-free, no artificial ingredients. Delicious taste, which is true, I tried that, and I'm lactose intolerant, and this did not hurt my stomach. So guys, go over right now if you guys are looking for a good protein that's very clean, 5.5 grams of BCAAs, 1 gram net carb, 25 grams protein. This alone, you can't beat it. Guys, if you're in Middle Tennessee, go to any nutrition factory here in Middle Tennessee or go over to NutriFit.com and use code REDEMPTION for 15% off. Boom. This episode is brought to you by MYBOOKIE.ag. Guys, it's hard to believe, but football season is almost back. The NFL preseason kicks off with the Hall of Fame game on August 1st. I honestly did not know that. And soon we'll have regular season NFL college football again. NFL and college football. The best time of year in my opinion. That means it's time to make an account at the best online sports book known to man. That's right, I'm talking about MYBOOKIE.ag. You guys know I love them, we've talked about them, we've worked together forever, and I honestly mean what I say. I play with them all the time. That means in time, it's that's right, I'm talking about MyBookie. Sports betting is exploding in popularity. Also true. If you want to get in on the action with a trusted company that's been in business for years, MyBookie is the place for you. With an easy, no-hassle mobile site, 24/7 customer service, which is great. I've used them a few times, helps with deposits and stuff. And bets on every sport and prop imaginable, MyBookie provides a fun, safe betting experience. Maybe you think Drew Brees and the Saints get their revenge for the terrible blown call last year's NFC Championship. Or maybe you think Tom Brady and the Patriots win an unbelievable 7th Super Bowl. Why not make money when your predictions come true? And if you deposit it today, MyBookie will give you a 50% deposit bonus. That's right. If you put $100, they'll give you $50. If you put in $1,000, they'll give you $500. It's that easy. Football weekends are the best, but they're even more thrilling when every touchdown can win you more money. So go to MyBookie.ag and sign up today with promo code. It's already there when you click the link in the promo code below. At MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.